and the meeting did not go away. So
Okay.
even though you weren't here to observe us, we were still existing.
It's good.
Nicely put, Dave.
Okay, now I'm recording here on my end. And then later on, I see with Claudia if we can join the two parts together, because when the gap is too long, and then they break the video.
Okay, you may see a message from on WhatsApp from Claudio, but ignore that. So.
Okay, Avidya is multi-faceted, diverse, pluralistic. It shatters the pure mirror of our consciousness and scatters it into innumerable shards, which reflect awareness in the form of infinite diverse beings, living beings and inert beings. As a result of Rajas' limitless awareness, Rajas, limitless appears as the limited entity called the Jiva. Okay, so consciousness reflects on the Rajasic portion of Prakriti, or the Rajas Predominant Prakriti. It produces the Jivas. Okay, as a result of Rajas, this aspect of Prakriti conditioned by Rajas, this limitless consciousness shines to become this limited entity called Jiva, that it's limited until it understands its true nature as limitless original consciousness. It's called Pranya Jiva, the eternal individual, the Son of God. So we have here another concept, the eternal Jiva, okay? Eternal Jiva is this principle, which is consciousness shining or reflecting on the aspect of Prakriti conditioned by Rajas. It's all the time there on the macrocosmic level, and the account of every individual soul is there, in the overall soul, but it's eternal principle. It is the Son of God. How nice, huh? Consciousness produce Ishvara and then produce the Jiva when mix up Sattva and Rajas. And then we say, so we are the Son of God. It identifies with the reflecting medium, its subtle body. So this is the story of most Jivas. So unavoidably, inevitably, it identifies with the three bodies. I mean, the causal body is unconscious. There is not much there for us to identify, unless we go into those samadhi states, and then we identify with that kind of Anandamaya experience. But otherwise, we identify with the subtle aspect of our human experience, our emotions, our thoughts, our notions, ideas, concepts, talents, and with our physical material body. Unfortunately, it identifies with the reflecting medium, the subtle body, which is made out of sattva, and accounts for the belief that it is a conscious being in its own right. So that is the delusion of every human being, and they believe that they generate their own consciousness. I am self-conscious, I exist, and I know that I exist, and I have my own source of consciousness. This is due to the identification with the sattva aspect of the subtle body, which produced the belief that the jiva is a conscious being on its right, and it forgets about pure sattva, Lord Ishvara, and Brahman as original limitless consciousness, its true fundamental source or nature. So it believes it to own consciousness on its own right, whereas the consciousness it enjoys actually belongs to pratibimba chaitanya, pure original consciousness. So every consciousness is somehow considered by Brahman the only source of consciousness. Like Tamas, Rajas is responsible for erroneous knowledge because it transforms consciousness into objects. It makes it appear to be something other than what it is. So, like Tamas, Rajas is also responsible for erroneous knowledge. So we were doing that analogy about the lake or the buckets, and then the bucket, which has a very muddy water, it has tamas to it, and then when it's too tamasic, it offers almost no reflection. Okay, and then it's conducive to misapprehension, misunderstanding. We don't really know when our mind is dull. It's really muddy, cloudy. Okay, so as like Tamas, Tamas is responsible for erroneous apprehension, erroneous knowledge, because the mind is scattered. But like Rajas, Rajas is also responsible for erroneous knowledge because it transforms consciousness into objects and makes it appear to be something other than what it is. So Rajas is responsible for erroneous knowledge because it transforms consciousness into objects and makes it appear to be something other than it is. So this Rajas on the macrocosmic level, its projecting power is going to scatter this mirror, this pure mirror, producing infinite numbers of objects, and then it's going to somehow hide its true fundamental nature as consciousness, as if the objects, consciousness is going to appear as the universe, the world of objects, and as if this object is concealing the nature of consciousness. And unfortunately, that seems to be the case because, we need to go a long way in our spiritual effort to come in contact to the scriptures until we get to understand that all this, projection of all these names and forms of the universe do not really conceal consciousness, because consciousness is what infuses, this apparent world of objects with light, with existence, with apparent existence, apparent light, apparent knowledge. So everything is only alive due to consciousness. But unfortunately, when Rajas comes into place, what it does, it creates diversity of name, colors, and forms. And then we have this, oh my God, and then it seems that it conceals consciousness. It's like you are covering consciousness with name, colors, and forms. You see? And then we see this cover, this apparent cover up. We have the jivas that experience this apparent cover up. Oh my God, consciousness. Oh yes, consciousness is a byproduct of my brain here. It's just my thoughts. And the jiva has no clue what a thought is, So this is the power of Rajas, okay? It makes consciousness appear to be something other. Again, what is this? Are you guys seeing me?
Wow, keep clicking, nothing is not moving, it's perfect.
I don't understand.
I can see it.
Okay, now it was just a page that opened here. I was terrified thinking that it was another defect on my end here. Okay, so we understood that Tamas is going to make the reflection dull, and it's going to produce inert objects, and it's going to cover consciousness with inert objects. Rajas is going to contribute for this projection of inert objects, but fundamentally mix up with Sattva, it produces the subtle body of the jivas, and the jivas is going to experience this Avidya firsthand. Avidya is relevant to the standpoint of the jivas. Yeah? So we understood the role of Rajas and Tamas, and Rajas, special Rajas, with this power to project. It's going to give us the impression that all these objects of the universe are somehow modifying or concealing altogether, or to some case negating, the true nature of everything, which is limitless consciousness. Yeah? So it makes the universe, consciousness appear to as the universe and forget itself to be limitless and untouched by any of these superimpositions or projection. What else it says here? The jiva, so the jiva appears with free will. It is a reflection cast in the image of awareness. It is free to claim that it is pure consciousness only when it understands why it is pure, original, unreflected awareness. Vedanta makes this why clear. So this is a very nice sentence. So it has a style of Ramji. The jiva has free will, as we know. It has a huge price tag attached to it, as we know, because this free will allows us to with a little bit of knowledge and ignorance operating our intellect, to make mistakes and act in a way that somehow is not in harmony with the laws governing or structuring the Dharma field. When we do that, and then we experience suffering. So the downside of this reflected jiva is that we are subject to suffering, to psychological suffering, because we make mistakes due to, we have enough sattva that makes us having the free will, power to decide and the intelligence to determine, but this determination is subject to lots of errors, and those errors are conducive to violation of Dharma, which brings about psychological suffering. So this jiva has the gift of free will. It is a reflection. It is cast in the image of awareness. And it has the potential to claim, to investigate. But as we know, it depends on a process of development of certain purifications, and refinement of the intellect, the development of sattva and discipline. So we go through this entire process of refinement so that we can exercise our right to claim that this reflection is just a shadow of my true nature as original consciousness, So only the human jiva, paying this huge price for this free will, is capable, as the only knower agent experience of the Dharma field, come to this final understanding that the true nature of the Jiva-Atma is Paramatma, and the true nature of Ishvara is Paramatma, and the true nature of Jagata is Paramatma as well. Everything is consciousness. So only the Jiva can come to that. So it is free to claim its true nature as consciousness, but only when it understands why it is pure, original, unreflected consciousness. And Vedanta is the teachings on why. Why? Yeah? When we are kids, we say, why? So why I am Brahman, why I am Satchitananda. So I want to understand why the scriptures are declaring such, radical, statements in regards to my identity, nature. So why? So we need to understand why, and that's why we get into the Vedanta and we start studying and following the logic until we understand why I am pure, original consciousness. And here it presents another word. It says unreflected consciousness, because the only reality is unreflected consciousness, because the reflecting medium is just an appearance in consciousness. The only reality is consciousness, which is beyond any reflection. At this stage, Sattva is present. So we are talking about the stage of Avidya, when there is impure Prakriti mixed up with Rajas and Tamas. And then it says that in this stage, where am I? At this stage, Sattva, as I mentioned before, Sattva is always there, is the background, is the primordial energy. It somehow develops itself into Rajas and Tamas. At this stage, Sattva is always there, is still present in a supporting role, but Rajas is dominant, because Sattva is contained with Rajas. Another thing to understand these three gunas is the Sattva is the energy that pervades Rajas and Tamas, is the subtlest of the three energies. It is there. And then we see Sattva, and then we have developmental inclusions of Rajas and Tamas, but Sattva is pervading those two energies. You understand? At this stage, Sattva is present in a supporting role, but Rajas is dominant, because Sattva is contained with Rajas. The jivas, Silvia, where is that? Help me here, please. Where is the text? I went to move it. It should be somewhere down here. It was open. I did not close it. No. Okay, let's open it again. So I thought it was
Imperent existence.
Okay. No, it should be already open, because here I'm gonna have to look for the page again.
Não se fa così.
Okay, go there to the page where I was. Let me do it, because I can do it quickly. So at this stage, as we were looking, consciousness reflect because you generate object presence of consciousness. At this stage, Sattva is present in a supporting role, but Rajas is dominant. Because Sattva is contained with Rajas, the jiva's knowledge is mixed with ignorance. No, it's not contained, contaminated with Rajas. Because the Sattva, as we know, we have a subtle body, which is, in order to reflect it, it requires a lot of Sattva. You remember, Sattva is a reflecting energy, okay? And we know our mind being more Sattvic, we are very reflective, we are very contemplative, as we say. So we are bright. So the Rajas is dominant because Sattva is contaminated with Rajas. It's no longer pure. The jiva's knowledge is always mixed with ignorance, as we have understood. Jivas are full of misconceptions, as we know. Vidyaranya, the author, calls these individuals the jivas. I heard that only on this Panchadasi text, the jiva atma is called chidabhasas, Chida Vasas, reflect consciousness. They cannot be separate from the reflecting medium. So what does that mean to say? Although the Jiva Atma is not the reflecting medium, it depends on the reflecting medium. And you cannot separate the Jiva Atma from the reflecting medium. We cannot separate this Jiva Atma from the subtle body. You understand? So it is in the reflecting medium that reflection occurs. Although the Jiva Atma is not the reflecting medium, it depends on the reflecting medium. Okay? So we experience our Jivahood as long as we have our subtle body, and the subtle body, it reflects only to make the Jiva Atma an experiencing entity when it is anchored with a physical body as well. So we have the Jiva Atma, which is not the reflecting medium, and therefore cannot be separated from the reflecting medium, which is the subtle body. So a lot of the times we just put it in simple language and we say that the Jiva is the subtle body. Have you heard that before? In previous talks? Yeah, the Jiva is the subtle body. So Jiva is not really the subtle body. Subtle body is the reflecting medium, is matter. So the Jiva, as we see here, is reflected consciousness, is the reflection of consciousness on this small microcosmic reflector called the subtle body. Okay? It cannot be separated of the subtle body because a reflection depends on the reflector. You need to have a reflector to have a reflection. But it is within this reflection that enjoys its apparent existence, due to so many factors, including the subtle body as the reflector, the physical body as that which, takes in the subtle body. It depends on all those factors. So this Jiva that enjoys a certain existence that depends on other factors, it has the potential to understand its true fundamental nature, which is absolutely independent from Maya, Ishvara, and the three bodies of the Jiva. You understand? It is within this Jiva experience as a mere reflection that the knowledge in regards to its free and independent nature. So the Jiva Atma, although it depends on so many factors, it has the potential to understand and claim its nature as totally free and independent to any and all factors, including the physical body, the subtle body, the causal body, Maya, Ishvara. As consciousness, he can claim that. So it is within Mithya, it's within the apparent reality that the knowledge of the nature of this apparent reality as the absolute nature of Brahman can be gained, apprehended. And that is only possible in the intellect of the Jiva Atma. Vidyaranya calls these individual jivas Shidabhasas, reflected consciousness. You see that he's not saying the reflecting medium, the subtle body, reflected consciousness, which is RC, OC and RC. Shall we stop here? We got enough? Shall we? And does anybody have a question? Any complaints today?
Could you repeat all that?
No, that's why we have the videos only, because I don't know how to repeat these things. I did not know. I mean, I look at this text today, I say, oh my God, how am I going to do this today? I mean, thanks God, Ishvara always comes to my rescue and start making sense of the words, Okay?
I think it's time to reread the text too now after you've explained it. We go back and reread.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to do our homework as well. Okie dokie. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, my friends. We meet again soon. Bye-bye. Much love.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
Arrivederci.
you. Arrivederci.
Great. Thanks, Arvinder. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank
Ciao.
you. Thank you.